right. Wait a couple seconds.
We'll need to make the app for this goddamn site.
You're telling me. Alrighty then. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the Snodacast. I am your host, Black Chef 56. I am, of course, joined by Allie, aka Hungry Hufflepuff.
Hi.
She exists.
That's the most normal you're going to get out of me.
Yeah, pretty much. She exists. She's in her own realm. She exists. She's not a figment of your imagination. Let's put it that way.
I do.
And of course, I'm also
backdrop for the realm at this point.
Yeah, honestly. And of course, we're also joined by DJ Lionheart, aka Leon.
Hey guys.
And of course, the undying, the ever fucking never will leave. No, I'm kidding. We all love him. It's Gallows.
No, fuck you, but no. Fuck you, dick.
Hey, he's got to do it to somebody every week.
That's true. Usually, my usual punching bag is, well,
gone now.
Nah, I feel too bad. Allie shouldn't be a punching bag. She should be a punch up bag. No, I'm kidding. Alrighty then. Well, you know, with the usual bullshit that we always do, we can't go into a normal episode of the Snodacast without talking about weekly updates. So this is the point of the show where we talk about basically how everybody's week went. So we're gonna go ahead and start with Allie. Allie, how was your week?
Not bad. Started a new campaign on Monday.
That's good.
That the players seem to be enjoying.
That is good.
Honestly,
that's because the chaos hasn't showed up yet.
Oh no! The chaos showed up from the first session.
Oh,
okay.
I made sure to tell them in the background. Yeah, this realm was visited by a primordial chaos dragon.
Oh.
And there's still going to be pockets of chaos left behind. Have fun.
That's one way of doing it for sure.
Chaos shall reign.
Goddamn-lutely.
I got a table of 10,000 magical effects that I get to roll on every time chaos happens.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. All right. Who knew Allie was the fucking chaotic one when it came to DMing?
I might want to borrow that wheel.
Depends on the campaign.
Yeah.
I might want to borrow that wheel.
Alrighty then. Well, Leon, how was your week, buddy?
Busy as ever, staring at a computer for at least 5-6 hours a day, working on the USDA stuff.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but it's fine. My eyes hurt like hell, but eye drops help. I actually will be heading up there, not too soon, but not too far away. I gotta go help out with the fundraiser up there. So,
absolutely.
Pretty sure you can get one of those blue filter screens to just hook on the monitor,
or you can get blue light filter glasses. They're not. You can get prescription ones. I mean, that's what these are. Mine don't. I went to VisionWorks and they don't really give anything. They don't give everything like a huge yellow tint like the first wave of them did. Mm-hmm. When I got my first pair of blue light filter glasses, I was like, "Why is everything yellow?" Jesus, you know.
Thankfully,
to get the tints on there, they got it. No, I'm not gonna finish that.
Okay.
Thankfully, a lot of it is just audio, so I can listen to it. Thankfully, I just got to remember to take notes on the important shit.
Right.
Oh, so D&D.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Except, it's how to make sure you don't over budget your shit for children's food on a monthly basis.
Fair enough. All right. Gallows, how was your week, buddy? We missed you last week.
It's been good. It was just a little tired last week. That's what it was.
Understandable, man. We completely understand. Anything specific happen or anything fun that you have planned this weekend? Or I mean, the 4th is coming up.
Not really. 4th of July. I will be at home doing nothing. Probably just watching the fireworks.
I cannot say I blame you. I cannot say I blame you. I
Yeah.
unfortunately am going to fall into the stereotypical thing of if I'm not working, I'm probably going to be watching Independence Day. As much as I want to shoot myself in the leg for doing that, I still have
I
the fun
might
time with the movie.
actually go out this 4th of July. There is
Wait,
a
you
bar.
actually
Oh,
go outside?
really? Oh, god damn.
I drive an hour and 10 minutes to work.
I
every
know,
day.
I'm fucking with you. I'm messing with
But
you.
no,
You know
there's
it.
there's a
No,
bar.
I'll be
just across the
working
street,
for
so
July. So.
it'll be the most social I've
I
ever been.
thought I was going to be working, but no one got a hold of me back. So.
I might possibly be working, but I won't be working all day. If anything, I'll probably be working from I'll be working peak hours, whatever those may be. It might be like 2 to 5 or 2 to 6, 2 to 7, somewhere around that time. Like I'll still get out and be able to go do my other, crazy, for YouTube's sake, legal things that I like to do on 4th of July.
Oh, okay, so I need to do
I
something
mean,
about
I would be doing music, but no one got a hold of me back, so that.
Honestly, I don't know that many people that do they'll probably do something around the weekend, but I honestly don't know that many people that would be doing 4th of July party with music there, unless it's like a whole big gathering for like a town. That's
Yeah.
different.
Well,
If they do, it's more like a fucking block party type of situation.
Yeah, I got you.
well,
Honestly, the
there's
only
a
music
lake
I associate
nearby,
with 4th of
so-
July is the 1812 Overture.
we do have a lake nearby that does the whole fireworks show and stuff like that, and they did ask me about if I was booked on 4th of July, and I told them nothing concrete, and they
They still haven't gotten back to you.
They never got back to me. So, and honestly, kind of right now, it's a little too late, but not too late. It's like that weird area.
Yeah,
It's
it's too late, but not too late to where I can't make it happen.
Yeah. I would just have
I can do it if you want a rush job, but
Beyond that,
I just gotta charge a little more.
yeah.
call it the
I'll be-
expedient fee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the rush fee.
I've been working from like 8 o'clock in the morning to 6 in the afternoon. Then after that, head home, take a shower, and just watch the rest of the night.
It's overtime hours. You spent all night making sure it was just right.
Fair enough.
Right.
Alrighty then.
But no, you'd
All
be
right,
surprised about how many people don't understand, like, just making a playlist for an event. Sorry, it's actually really easily done. It's just, I don't know, some people just have a hard time with it.
I mean, yeah.
I think a lot of people just kind of shuffle that off into the somebody else's problem folder.
Probably. And at this point in time, it's like I'm not even making my own mixes yet. Hopefully that'll be soon, though.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. All right, Christian, how was your week?
Do you really want to know? Do you really want to know?
Yeah.
Excuse me, I think that's
That sounds bad.
No, it's actually
What
been good. I'm messing with you. No, I've just been working. I actually did a shift with Uber. I did from 9:30 p.m. to about 6:30 in the morning. I made pretty good money. Obviously, I had one customer, one rider, and he wasn't even okay. I'll go into the story. It's very short, but so essentially, I pick up this couple, and what ends up happening is after she says hi, yada yada yada, she immediately looks at him and says, "Don't talk to me, don't touch me," is what she told this guy.
Oh shit!
And so as soon as she walked in, I was like, okay, she doesn't seem very happy. As soon as he got in my car, I immediately smelt, let's see, for YouTube and Twitch purposes, a particular herb that people like to have fun with.
Why you just say a green herb?
Yeah, because if you just say herb, anyways, so a particular herb that people like to have fun with, right? And so I immediately smelt it on him, and he was obviously had a lot of it to begin with. So basically, it got to the point where she was consistently telling him, "Hey, stop talking to me. I don't want to talk to you," so on and so forth, right? And he eventually got to a point where he actually asked, he's like, Why won't you talk to me? Is it because we're in the Uber? Fuck the Uber. It's not like it's his problem anyways. I'm like, you're in, I'm so tempted to say, you're in my car. Obviously, you've made it my problem. Like, if it gets
Right?
physical, it's gonna become my problem because you're in my car. So there's
I
that.
exist within this space.
Exactly. And it's like, that automatically irritated me. She apologized for him. She said, hey, don't mind him. Just ignore him. And I'm like, no offense taken. I've heard worse. Already on it. And so it kept getting worse and worse. She eventually actually asked me to turn. She was like, hey, sir, are you playing any music? And I said, yes, I am. And she goes, please turn it up. So very obvious not
damn.
wanting to talk to this dude, right? And it eventually got to a point where he kept doing it, and I turned down my music. I was like, look, dude, she has made it beyond obvious she does not want to talk to you. Don't talk to her. And he didn't even acknowledge me at that point. So it got to a point where it kept getting worse. I'm still on the highway, still got about 10, 11 minutes left on the ride. So I was just like, you know what? Fuck this dude. And I started pulling over to the side of the road. And I'm on the highway. So, you feel, you feel the rumbles.
Yeah.
So she starts going, uh-oh, what's going on? I'm like, he's getting out on the side of the highway. And she goes, no. How long of a trip do we have? And I said, we got about 10 minutes. And she goes, okay. And I said, all right, I'll keep going. And she turns to him and said, you know what you just did? You almost got us kicked out of the Uber. I said, oh, correction. He almost got himself kicked out. I wasn't going to kick you out. And he goes, excuse me, sir. This is my girl. She goes with me. And I'm like, okay. I was so tempted to come up with a comeback and be like, all right, so your broke ass can't afford an Uber, but yet she's your girl. But yeah, so there was so many points where I wanted to kick this dude's ass on principle alone. I had to, and I can't because I'm an Uber driver and technically I'm employed under Uber. And if he really wanted to, there was a witness, yeah, but she just didn't. And especially if they break up, it's like, oh, well, obviously she's doing this to spite him, and it's like, well, there was no audio recordings or anything else like that. So it's like, if I did. And also, of my particular pigmentation and his particular pigmentation, one could see it as a hate crime. So, yeah,
okay.
Yeah, one could perceive it as a hate crime if you saw it from the outside looking in without any context. Mm-hmm. So, I held restraint, but I really wanted to kick this dude's ass because he was just being a blatant dick. And that pissed me off so bad.
This is, from what I understand, a lot of Uber drivers get dash cams for a reason.
Yeah, and now actually through the app, you can, if you feel like you're in danger in any way, shape, or form, you can record your whole ride. They have that for the drivers and the riders. So there is that, which is not bad, That being said, that's like the worst Uber ride I've had, and I've been doing it for 2 weeks straight. There's always going to guarantee to be one. And
there's always going to be that one asshole.
There's always going to be that one asshole. Exactly. So going from there's always going to be that one asshole to
physical.
Yeah. Oh man, I was so tempted. There's a reason why I had a form of protection, particularly of the stabbing variety. There's a reason why I had it.
Always have one.
Yeah, I was always so tempted to pull it out and be like, get the hell out of my car, or it's going to get worse. But that would have been my last Uber drive ever. And yeah. So it's just one of those things. It's like, I showed enough restraint, but in principle, in a perfect world, I should have kicked this dude's ass, or at the very least, kicked him out of my car.
Pulled a knife and threatened me.
Yeah,
1 star.
Actually, he wasn't the one that ordered it. It was the girl. That's the great thing is she ordered it. So what ended up happening? Originally, it was going to be
Uber driver protected me 5 stars.
Yeah, exactly. No, but
hold on, you never
she
know.
was originally going to have me drop her off and then drop him off. And then she's like, hey, is there a way I can change it? And I said, I don't know on your end, but on my end, if I'm dropping you guys off at the first stop, what we can do is I can just swipe and say, go to next trip and then end the Uber. And she said, okay, no, I figured it out. And I said, okay, fine, whatever. So there's that. Mm-hmm. So going from there's always that one asshole to, well, there's always going to be that one franchise that refuses to die. And no, it's not Fast and Furious. For now showing, we have Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. the 5th installment of this franchise that refuses to absolutely die, and yeah,
Supposedly final.
supposedly final.
Supposedly final.
I don't see them making another one. He's pushing 80.
This is Hollywood we're talking about. They'll find a way.
They'll reboot it
They even
before they
said
make
they-
another one. I'm sorry, they really.
He's even said he doesn't want to make another one anyways.
Yeah,
He wants to
exactly.
die.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
No, it'll still have the Indiana Jones stamp.
Exactly. So here's the thing. I've yet to see this movie. I plan on seeing this movie.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not hearing good things from the consensus of a lot of people that I trust. I am not hearing a lot of good things. So I'm hearing there are elements of this movie that work entirely well. But there's far more bad that outweighs the good. Like I've been told, the de-aging is not awful. It's actually some of the best a lot of people have seen. But the lip syncing isn't there, and they didn't de-age his voice.
Huh.
So it looks like a 30-year-old man, but he sounds like an 80-year-old man. It's like, damn, maybe you hit the sauce a little too much before you got here. It's like, fuck. But beyond that, I've also been hearing that the opening 15 to 20 minutes is some of the best of the entire movie. It actually it gives you a lot of false hope where it's like, oh no, this might actually work. And then they cut to modern day. The 60s. They cut to the modern 60s, right? And now we have slight spoiler. It's obvious that he's living in an apartment alone. He is a divorced. He is divorced now, and he is a sad old man that has hippies that live above him. And he actually eventually goes up to their door, knocks on it, and says, "Hey, can you turn the music down?"
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know we were
Did I
going
mention that he also has a baseball bat and he's in a wife beater and boxers?
Oh God!
Yeah.
Oh man!
Yeah.
I would like to amend my
Trope
earlier
right
statement.
there.
It sounds like they're trying to kill the franchise.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's not good. But then there's obvious other reasons. Like from what I've heard, is everybody showed up to work. They didn't half-ass anything. They did their job,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody went above and beyond it either. They just did what was required, and they did a good job. So you
They
have that.
basically
element
did
to
the
it.
bare minimum and shit. Basically,
Not even bare minimum. They did exactly what was expected of them.
Give him my money.
Pretty much. Not even that, honestly.
They did-
Nobody showed up for just a paycheck. So there's that. And I heard a lot of the action is not half bad, but beyond that, just the way they end it, it's very cut and abrupt. I've been hearing a lot of about majority of the movie. Also, I've been hearing it's about 30 minutes too long. And that's something you never want to hear for an action movie.
No.
So, yeah. So, not necessarily the best
wait
of
till it comes
films.
to Disney Plus.
And I've actually been hearing a lot of people say that now, because of this film, they're saying Crystal Skull might be the better ending. Out of all of them. Not out of all of them. Obviously, everybody agrees that Last Crusade is like the pitch perfect ending. If you wish to
For an
really
indie
maintain
movie, yeah.
Indiana Jones, keep it as a trilogy. And here's the thing: I would argue against that because now, granted, it might be a bias because the first Indiana Jones movie I ever saw in theaters was Crystal Skull. I had a blast with it, and I still do. I think it's fun. It's not as gritty as the other Indiana Jones, and I think that's where the main problem is. The villain's boring. You introduce aliens instead of a supernatural element, and
Interdimensional
cartoony.
beings, not they're
Yes.
not called
Well,
aliens,
and-
but
fuck off. They're aliens.
In
Another
fairness,
alien.
most of the people who went to watch Kingdom of the Crystal Skull had the palette of having watched the original trilogy.
Exactly.
You did not.
No, and here's the funny thing. I did. I watched them because I was like, oh, I want to go see Indiana Jones. They're like, do you even know what Indiana Jones is? I'm like, no, but it looks like fun. And my great aunt, she told me, she's like, she had a bunch of movies. She's kind of what also fueled the fire to my movie addiction as well.
Yeah.
She said, I have all 3 of the original movies. Watch them. And I said, okay. and I watched them, and I fell in love with them. The first one scared me. The second one was very dark for me, and the third one was honestly my favorite.
Rightfully so. On the
Yeah.
first one,
Yeah.
scaring the shit out of you.
Yeah, you gotta look at it this way. You're talking about an 8-year-old, 7 or 8-year-old me,
Watching
so
someone's
yeah.
face get melted off.
and then somebody else's face explode. Yeah. The second movie, I think, goes a little too dark. And here's the thing. I know a lot of people are like, oh, the second movie is one of the better ones. I'm like, it is. It's not a bad movie.
Mhm.
But the majority of the middle of that movie, I don't like. It's very dark. It's very gritty, which is fine.
Was
But it's
that
not
the
what I'm going to
Indie
go
one?
back to all the... That was the Temple of Doom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Temple of Doom is very dark, gloomy. It's just not fun. Now, it gets fun at the end.
I liked it.
It's fun at the
I
beginning.
enjoyed
It's
the
fun at the
franchise.
end. I don't hate it. It's not my least favorite movie. But out of the franchise so far, I haven't seen the fifth one. This one might take that cake. So far, I would say, yeah, Temple of Doom's probably my least favorite. I actually do like Crystal Skull because there are fun moments. Now, does it feel too much like a cartoon? Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of grit to it. Like, I'd say the grittiest thing that happens to anybody is how the villain goes out and the guy who basically gets eaten alive by ants. That's kind of like the grittiest moments of the entire movie.
Right.
And
I actually just saw, it was a few days ago, someone, Film Theory actually did a little thing about Crystal Skull, about how Indy, yes, could have survived the refrigerator scene.
Yes.
But he would have died of suffocation.
Oh, yeah, 100%. He would have definitely died of suffocation.
Well,
and that was
the
just
thing was
because
that
of the way the fridge was.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those open latch ones. And at that time, when that particular model fridge was out, a lot of children were suffocating and dying.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about that part is the fact that I got sent off flying. So when it got sent off flying, it hit the ground so hard that it broke the latch system in that refrigerator. So that's what made the door basically be able to swing open.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. With how much he was running and the amount of panic he was under, the amount he was breathing right up until that point, probably would have.
It would have saved him a little bit longer, yeah, for sure. But the other thing, honestly, is like he wasn't flown away far enough to necessarily avoid radiation. So the fact that they aren't starting with him like, oh yeah, I fought chemo, or I went through chemo before this movie. I'm surprised they're not doing that. Because
hold on, the thing is though, a lot of stuff back then was made with lead too.
It was a lead-like fridge, absolutely.
It wouldn't have
so he would
survive
that far.
It wouldn't have flown that far because
that's not the thing I'm bringing up, Gallows. I'm bringing up it wouldn't have flown as far. He still would have been in the area of radiation.
Yeah,
he still would have been in the fallout.
Fallout.
Yeah, and honestly, it wouldn't have affected him immediately. But now, granted, they did pick him up and clean him immediately after. I'm pretty sure they gave him those pills. I forget what they are, but they are still a real thing. Like they're like, yeah, you might want to start taking these if you've been exposed to radiation, a heavy amount. They're like, here you go, and we always have a steady amount. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting theory, so I would check it out.
Yeah, no, I've seen the video. Honestly, here's the thing. Let's be perfectly honest. I'm going to play the ultimate devil's advocate here. He would have died from the amount of broken bones he got from that shit.
Yes,
that is true.
The landing would have killed him.
Would have killed him. He would have been broken beyond repair. Like the adventure was.
If
over,
he did survive, he would be a cripple. Let's just put
exactly. And so that's kind of the biggest thing. But back onto Indy 5. Here's the thing. I don't hate the director choice. And the fact that they brought back John Williams, that was another positive I've heard, is the score is great. The fact that they tried. But ultimately, I think this was done. I think this was dealt a bad hand by studio meddling, Kathleen Kennedy, and the fact, and this is going to make me sound bad, but let's be perfectly honest, the addition of Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I'm sorry. That was a bad choice. It's not a good choice for this movie. And like if they would have let her write it, maybe it could have worked. Maybe. But the fact that she is in the movie and she co-wrote it, not a good choice. Or at least I think she co-wrote it. Don't quote me on that one. But I know I know just the addition of her. It's like, oh wow, another British brunette that's going to be teaching the old man the right way of doing things. I wonder whose studio note that was.
You
Kathleen,
should have
you
done
have
it
any
for a
comments?
60 era.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's just one of those things, and it's like, all right, yeah, it makes sense, and it's whatever. Now I have heard a good theory of what the story should be. Is it should be either Mutt and Indy going after Short Round, who's been kidnapped, and the only way to do it is with this dial, or it could have been Indy and Short Round looking for Mutt.
Yeah.
I think that would have been better, honestly, because then you would have had like the final movie would have been with Short Round, and technically, based on the timeline, it would have been the first movie, the first adventure Indy had that we've seen is with Short Round, and the last adventure we've had is with Short Round.
Well, and it would have harkened back to Last Crusade.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like that would have given the people who have been fans since The Last Crusade was in theaters, hell, since Raiders was in theaters, it would have given them that that finishing touch that we want.
Exactly.
The nice nostalgia for it.
Yeah, and there is some like lazy nostalgia thrown in here, nostalgia bait in. Yeah, but that being said, going from sad news of a dying franchise to good news of a hopefully not dying franchise, but probably on its way. We're going to go ahead and talk about David Cornsweet and the marvelous Miss Maiselstar. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but that's where you know her from. Stop looking through IMDb. Have now been announced as Superman and Lois for James Gunn's Superman Legacy. I think David Cornsweet, I haven't really seen him in much of anything. I think he's a perfect choice just based off of look alone. And from what I've been told from people who have seen him and stuff, he's not a bad actor. So, like, I've even heard, like, everybody's like, wow, he looks a lot like Henry Cavill. And, like, I heard somebody say, it looks like somebody tried to draw Henry Cavill from memory. I'm like, yeah.
Is it bad that you said that, and the first thought through my mind was the Wish version of Henry Cavill?
I wouldn't say Wish version because that would ultimately mean it's a flawed product compared to the original. This one I think is more along the lines of like it's not discount. It's just like, oh, there's a brand that could be good, but it's not the name brand. It's not a name that you recognize, but it could be good, and it's the same product.
It's great value compared to General Mills.
Yeah, exactly. It's great value compared to General Mills. You might be getting a cheaper option, but it could be just as good. So there you go. Now, of course, with the marvelous Miss Maiselstar,
none of this is commentary on the actor.
Oh no! None of this is commentary on him. Even though his last name is Cornsweet, which automatically makes me think of like a Wheaties off-brand. It's like, oh yeah, Wheaties. We got Wheaties. It's like, come on.
Make it hard for us, please.
Yeah, but no, that's just who was born on Earth. But it's whatever. I wish him the best of luck. The marvelous Miss Maiselstar. I've yet to see that show. I've been hearing good things. I'm tempted to check it out at some point. I think she's a good fit. She from what clips I have seen of Marvelous Miss Maisel, she does kind of have that quippiness and that very quick-witted humor. And I think that works perfectly with a plucky reporter, Lois Lane. I think that fits perfectly. And then, of course, this guy does look like Superman. You look at that jawline. You look at how he is. Just bulk him up a little bit, and I think you got a perfect Superman. I wish James Gunn the best of luck with this movie, though, granted, I have been seeing a lot of faith in DC die down. I think...
I wish luck for James Gunn for everything, especially after the last few years, because of the way DC is. Yeah.
Hold on. What were you trying to say, Gals?
I said, especially with the last decision they just made for DCU. Yeah, I wish James Gunn the best of luck.
All right.
James Gunn has a lot of cleanup.
He does. And here's the thing is I think a lot of the faith has gone down because of the announcement timing. I think doing that before The Flash and before even Aquaman 2 was done, I think that was piss poor decision. I mean, I get it. You want to try to get people on board for this stuff, but however, with you saying you're doing like a soft reboot of the franchise, and you yourself have confirmed that your characters from like Suicide Squad and Peacemaker are going to make it, but what about all these other characters we don't know about? We don't know about Wonder Woman. We don't know about anybody, and it's just one of those things. It's like, okay, so
From what
now
I've heard, they all got fired.
they got fired. I think Momoa actually got rehired as a different character, and I hope to God it's
That is unknown,
Yeah,
but
that's
I've heard
Lobo.
about like that.
I think he had
Wonder
talks with
Woman,
Peter
Superman,
Safran.
and all them
Yeah.
canned.
Well, Henry Cavill said, "Fuck Warner Brothers. I'm not working for him ever again." Gal Gadot, I don't know. I think they probably want to go for maybe a more unknown character. That might be the thing, or an unknown actor, and that's fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. But I think with Momoa, definitely Momoa for sure, and I think Gal Gadot. They both sat down and talked with James Gunn and Peter Safran. I think Gunn told him, "Hey, look, we're not going to keep you as Aquaman. We're going to probably get somebody else." Which, by the way, Hollywood, if you're listening, pitch perfect casting for Aquaman. Alex Skarsgård. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I can't unsee that. He is
Yeah.
a perfect casting for Aquaman. Now, don't get me wrong. I would love to see him as Lex Luthor. I think he'd be a very good Lex Luthor as well. And he is in talks. Him and his brother are both in talks for Lex Luthor. I would love to see one Skarsgård maybe play Aquaman, and I would love the other one to play Lex Luthor because I think now obviously the best choice out of all the actors that are supposedly under talks for it, I think Nicholas Hoult is your best bet because he is such a versatile actor. I think he can do it really well. But I also think Bill Skarsgård is a really good choice. So Alexander Skarsgård, I think if you don't cast him as Lex Luthor, definitely get him on board for Aquaman. I think he's a good choice. And it already helps that he's blonde, so there's that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're not wrong. The other brother.
Alexander Skarsgård and Bill Skarsgård, and then you also have there's another Skarsgård.
What is that?
It's Gallows' phone. You're hearing a lot of vibration feedback.
It sounds like a lot
Okay.
There's that too. Yeah. But yeah, we're hearing a lot of vibration feedback, so yeah. Hey, Gallows, you got earbuds in, right?
Yeah. Of course, I'm a Bluetooth.
Okay. There we go. All right then. I'll just keep fluctuating your audio then. Can't be an episode of Snodacast without technical difficulties. Once again, folks, we are professionals.
Professionals. We're professionals at heart, but not.
Yeah. How does that do it? How do we do that? How do we do? Depression?
Not today. That's tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. But anyways, back onto this DC casting. I think it's a great casting choice. Can't wait to see where this movie goes. Also, just for those of you that are wondering, Blue Beetle is going to be in this new version of the DCEU. There's no confirmation on the Flash. I don't think anybody from the Flash is going to be showing back up. Though, honestly, the chick they got to play Supergirl, I think, is a really good choice for Supergirl. If you're going to do that, I thought she did fine. But beyond that, I don't think Ezra Miller is coming back.
I've heard rumor of blacklisted, but
I don't think he's been blacklisted. Maybe, hopefully, but maybe. At least for a little while. I think genuinely, if they go get help, they go get therapy, and ultimately all this stuff was just like, yeah, I was high off my ass and crazy. Be like, okay, not entirely inexcusable, but just don't do that shit again.
Yourself.
Yeah. Like if you show like an actual reformation, do something like Mel Gibson or do something like Mickey Rooney. Show that you went through your shit.
I think a bit.
Greatest Hollywood comeback story, Robert Downey Jr.
That I was actually just gonna say that.
Haha! I beat you to it, bitch. Fuck you. Anyways, but no, Robert Downey. Do something akin to Robert Downey Jr., where you do have your drug binge, you do have your shitty movies, and then you make a comeback. That's my personal opinion.
Especially with a superhero film.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
100%.
yeah.
I would
Totally
honestly,
fits into the redemption story thing.
and honestly, Ezra is not a terrible actor. Like they're a great supporting actor,
No.
but when it comes to main role, fuck. Honestly, I think with how annoying Ezra can be, he'd be a good Jimmy Olsen. Uh,
Cast him as a Wonder Twin. There we go.
yeah, and never make the movie because that movie
Yeah,
actually got
fair.
canceled. Believe it or not, the Wonder Twins movies, the Wonder Twin movie that was going to happen, it got canceled.
I never even knew there was going to be one. So
There was, it was under talks. They were going to have Riverdale star be one of the cast members. He was going to be one of the Wonder Twins. KJ Appa, I believe, is his name. Anyways, so going from a hopefully good thing to what is probably going to be guaranteed a good thing, we're going to go ahead and talk about the new Avatar game has released, and it is going to be called Avatar: The Last Airbender: A Quest for Balance. Or it hasn't released yet, but the footage and everything else is released. I think this is probably going
I
to be a really
believe
good thing.
it's fall release. I believe
I believe so. Yeah. So they're starting their marketing push, which is great. So I'm looking forward to this. I think honestly, it's going to be a pretty decent game. We haven't gotten a game since I think the Wii days. So
Yeah, the Wii was the last one, or no, the
Last Airbender,
mobile
yeah.
one. The mobile one was.
Oh yeah, they did have a mobile one. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
that one was recent. I think that was about 3 or 4 years ago. I don't remember off the top of my head, but this one looks good. I think I'm gonna enjoy it once it comes out.
Oh, me too. Gallows, you got any thoughts on it?
I would love to play the game, honestly.
Yeah.
Once I get my system back, be able to play the game. Honestly.
There you go.
I believe it's being released on all platforms, if I remember correctly.
PS4, Xbox Series X, and S. I think they probably will do a one release, and then Nintendo, and of course, obviously PC.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That means it'll probably hit Game Pass.
Most likely.
Oh yeah.
All right, Allie, you got any thoughts on this?
Honestly, I just wanted something, an Avatar something or other that expands more on the previous Avatars, the ones that we didn't get to see, but hear all the secondhand tales of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got you.
Like before the show, I was talking about the TikTok that has them having conversations during this tense moments of the shows.
Yeah, the previous Avatar lives. Yeah, I've seen
I
those too.
want more detail on Kuruk from what I have heard from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Korra could be a cool one. Shit.
And you can't tell me
the
that
airbending avatar before Aang. I think she'd be an interesting story.
you can't tell me that none of us want to be the earthbending badass.
Yeah.
Oh, I want a full blown.
I know everybody. I
maybe
know
not a
everybody
video
creams their
game.
pants. Yeah. Sorry.
Not-
Let me
maybe
finish the
not a
sentence
video
before it goes out of context. I know everybody creams their pants about Kyoshi, and Kyoshi is really cool. I will never deny that, but it's just one of those things. Is like it's kind of a stereotypical answer. Sounds like, what would you like to see from the Avatar universe that has not been expanded upon? Fucking Kyoshi. Like, bro, I get it, but like, is there not any other element that you want to talk about?
Kyoshi is my second. Kuruk is my first.
Yeah, I'm
Alice, you got
kind
something
of
to
with Allie on that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say that they could have done the Firebender one before Roku, before the last go for the previous one before, because that one nobody talks about him. Nobody talks about him, but everyone wants the whole backstory of every Avatar. Go with that guy. Because
Well, Kyoshi has.
Kyoshi and Airbender ones are the more likely one to be talked about. Why not go for the less likely?
Okay.
Well, if I remember correctly, Kyoshi actually has her own comic series.
Yes, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken, I believe so.
Mhm.
Yeah, hold on one second,
Yeah.
guys. All right, what's up?
The Airbender Avatar, the one before Aang, has her own book too.
Oh,
Ah,
she
okay.
does. Okay, that's the first I've heard of it.
No, it's not a comic book or anything. It's more of a damn fucking regular book, basically.
Oh, webtoon, basically.
No, not webtoon. Actual book, like. Yeah.
Oh, it's a. Oh, okay.
Short story, maybe.
Probably. It's a chapter book, basically. That's what
Novel.
Yeah.
The word you're looking for is novel.
Novel. Okay.
Alrighty, guys. It is almost 6 o'clock for me. I gotta get going.
Damn, Leon. We were just gonna talk about trailers. All right, buddy. We'll see you around.
All right. Catch you later, everybody.
Deuces. You don't want to say your typical goodbye?
Oh, yeah. Hey, remember, stay nerdy.
And with that, we're gonna say fuck him, and he can go then burn in hell. No, I'm kidding. All right, so going from Avatar, we are gonna go ahead and go into some new trailers dropped this week. We have Dumb Money, which is the story about the GameStop stock exchange, and also we have the franchise that nobody will shut the fuck up about because they want a movie and they're getting a movie, but now they're bitching and moaning about it. Five Nights at Freddy's. Sorry, I have disdain for a lot of people that are like bitching and moaning about this movie, but will
Speaking
not
of
shut up.
franchises that won't die.
Yeah, but at least this isn't a movie franchise yet. So obviously, it's just one of those things. It's like I want to talk about the Dumb Money trailer first because
Yeah.
I personally believe that the fact that they hopped on this movie so quickly, and it's only been 2 years, maybe. I think it's only been about a year or so, give or take, like maybe a year and a half, and they've already got this movie coming out, which is phenomenal how quickly they hopped on this. And I love the fact that it's got a stacked cast. I think it's from the same people who did The Big Short as well as Bombshell. Kind of that very like we're gonna show you what happened, and we're also gonna like do quick editing, kind of keep your attention going. Like I knew nothing about the housing bubble of '08, but The Big Short explained every bit of it to me. There's even a point where Margot Robbie taking a bath explains what's going on. So, like, hey, I trust these guys. Yeah, but no, I trust these guys with making a movie like this. And, this is something I didn't follow too closely, but I did follow a little bit. And it's just one of those things I'm like, okay, I'm interested to see what this movie is going to be. Like, maybe they'll reveal some details that nobody knew, all that other stuff. And I think it's going to be a good movie. What do you guys think?
I feel like this is the type of movie that needs to get made because there are going to be periods later on in life, future generations who are going to hear about stuff like this happening.
Yeah,
and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then they're not going to want to do all their boring ass research, so they're just going to watch a movie about it. Yeah.
So a movie
I didn't know this happened, honestly.
The GameStop stock thing?
Yeah, I didn't even know it happened. Like, well, I wasn't really paying attention to stuff like that.
Fair enough.
So the movie got brought up, so I was just like, oh, okay. It seems like it's to watch, to know what happened. A documentary, a time period of, hey, 2008 recession. Now we're all fucking screwed.
Yeah. Well, this happened recently, Gallows. This happened within like a couple of years. Yeah, like I think about a year or two ago. Yeah. But the '08 housing bubble, it's the same guys who did make Big Short. Yeah. So there's that, and then obviously we'll go ahead and go into the Five Nights at Freddy's trailer. I guess here's like before people start thinking that I absolutely despise this movie, I despise this franchise. I don't. I'm excited for the movie. I think it's going to be a good movie. I hope to God they have the balls to give it an R rating because let's be perfectly honest, as much as Five Nights at Freddy's is like marketed towards kids, it's not really for kids. It's really not. Like I think this is maybe if you go for the PG-13, but like this is one where it earns that PG-13 rating. This is a movie that look at it this way. Haunted Mansion, I just found out, is going to be PG-13, which is a really good choice, and I think that's a fantastic idea. I would argue Pirates of the Caribbean earned its PG-13 rating, right? Mm-hmm. All of them did. Maybe not the fourth one, but like almost all of them did, right? The fourth one, because how Blackbeard got that was fun. Anyways, so like those movies have bite, right? And I think that this is a movie that would definitely have bite. Like they don't shy away from kids haunting these machines. The fact that
I sure as heck hope it has a bite.
Exactly. Ha 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 ha. I will kill you. I hope you realize this. You will be kicked off this podcast.
At least they go around the eye situation for those complainers who go, too many red eyes. They're fucking possessed fucking machines. What do you expect from them? Basically.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
I'm in the position of I'm just tired of hearing about this sort of this series, the
I am
games,
too.
the books, the movie. I'm tired of hearing about it all.
I'm right there.
I'm every time I hear about it, I remember Markiplier during Security Breach, just looking like he is dying inside.
Yeah. Now I do believe he is making. I believe him and a lot of other YouTubers who played the games are making a cameo in these movies.
He has earned it.
Definitely Markiplier, um, for sure. Because
Also,
I
Matt
mean, I
Booty.
think they were.
And a few others have earned that spot.
Yeah.
But mostly Jacksepticeye. Both of those main two who played the games for us fucking deserve the spot in the goddamn series.
100%. I
Also,
don't
Matt
disagree.
Pat, who is how many times has he had to revise the timeline just because Scott pulled out something new?
I would say honestly, give him a vocal cameo. Maybe maybe this character calls the cops, and you just hear like 911. What's your emergency? And it's just Matt Pat's voice. And then he's like, well, hold on one second. So is this like a theory or is this confirmed? It's just I would laugh my ass off if that happened. Oh my god, that would be hilarious. Like you never see him, you just hear his voice.
Yeah.
And he does like it's like, well, I guess we'll go ahead and send a couple people. I genuinely think it'd be hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be clever ass writing too. But yeah, no, we do see Springtrap in this, which is odd because we do know that Matthew Lillard is playing William Afton, and I guess because I know Springtrap is possessed by William Afton, if I'm not mistaken. So I guess what's probably going to happen is he's going to die.
The whole theory behind Springtrap is that fact that Action didn't possess the suit until after he got trapped in it. The ones who got possessed by the suit were the little kids he killed while wearing the suit.
He used the Springtrap suit as a cover to abduct and kill these kids. Like that's why we're going to be seeing Springtrap.
Exactly,
and why he ended up possessing the suit.
Yeah, and I honestly do think that probably we're going to see him die in this movie. I really do. I do think that's probably going to be the idea. Yeah. But yeah, so just a couple fun trailers to talk about. I don't remember when either of them are releasing. Actually, I think Five Nights at Freddy's still doesn't have a release date. But the fact that we're getting trailers and posters. Sorry.
It's October for the Friday Nights at Freddy's.
Okay. Then I imagine we're also going to get a fall release for Dumb Money as well.
Basically.
Okay. All right. Well, going from movies to what arguably should have been the Assassin's Creed movie, Assassin's Creed Black Flag is getting a remake, and we're just going to go ahead and talk a little bit about Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I think that was the last good Assassin's Creed game. Let's be perfectly honest. Don't get me wrong. Valhalla was great. Wasn't good. Last great Assassin's Creed game. Valhalla was good. It wasn't great.
There you go.
I think Syndicate was a little better than Valhalla. I haven't played Valhalla.
Oh, I love Syndicate.
Fucking Syndicate with 1 to 2 out of Black Flag and those two that did really good.
Yeah. No, I love Syndicate.
I'm going to stop these arguments here. The difference is that it's a completely different gameplay style from Origins on, which makes the two they are part of the same series, but comparing them is like comparing apples to oranges.
Fair enough. I'm just talking about the story, though. Like, the story is honestly, yeah, I know, everybody's like, it's like, oh, yeah, I actually have a pretty short story, but pirates! And it's like, yeah, cool, I guess. Fun.
The Black Flag was also, they were still trying to figure out what to do after Desmond.
That is also true.
And so, it gave them a kind of throw random shit at the wall and see what stuck.
And I would argue that I would love a Assassin's Creed Black Flag movie.
Yes.
That would be a lot of fun. You could basically do a Pirates of the Caribbean movie with assassins, and I think you would have a blast with that. So, hell, even bring back Ian McShane as Blackbeard. But no, just give him better writing, please. Yeah. But, yeah, no, it's just... I'm glad that this is getting a remake. Getting or not a remake. No, it is a remake. Yeah, it's getting remade. I'm glad that this is getting remade.
Mhm.
However, I do have my skepticism with it because it is Ubisoft. They have proven that they have not exactly been the best with these games in the long run, and I don't know. I think there's potential here, but I also just know Ubisoft as a whole. They're probably going to try to find a way to fuck this up, not intentionally, but they're going to fuck it up somehow.
Well, and it also needs to be acknowledged that Black Flag was them getting away from the classic
Yeah,
control scheme. Like
yeah,
you were allowed to run around more. You didn't have to worry about getting jumped just because you're running around.
pretty much. Yeah. No, I had a lot of fun with Black Flag. I never even finished the story, but I remember spending hours playing that game.
Oh yeah,
It was so much fun.
there was
But
so much to do.
I gave it more of an open war concept when open war was barely being known. So basically,
oh no, I'm right there with you. I think that would be a good concept for sure.
Mhm.
All
But,
right.
like Black Flag introduced so much for the players to do.
Oh,
Between the
100%.
fishing, between the whaling, between just the random shit you could get into.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's so much fun. I highly if you've never played it, I would highly recommend it. I believe it's on Game Pass if I'm not mistaken. If you have Xbox Game Pass, I believe it's on there.
It might be. All I know is I own it.
Yeah, I mean,
Of
I
course
played
I
it
do.
on the Xbox 360. I had a blast with it.
I can tell you in a
I'd
second.
love to get it for the PlayStation as well, and the fact that they are remaking it is a good idea because I'm not looking forward to paying full price for it again because fuck, but because now full price is no longer it used to be like $64, okay, now you're
Fuck.
pushing $74, and it's like, damn, dude, I'm not looking forward to this bullshit. Just
I am not paying the same amount. I'm not paying more for a game than I am for gas.
yeah, that's kind of my thought process too. Like that's $10 more than my gas. My tank to fill it up. Like that's a lot.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
a full tank of gas and then some. So
The only Assassin's Creeds that are in Game Pass right now are Odyssey and Origins.
damn, that sucks. Because Odyssey was very boring. I did not like Odyssey.
They focused way too much on the war as opposed to the story.
I
That was
really,
my
I didn't really, I didn't really enjoy Origins very much. Odyssey was a little bit better, honestly.
I've heard Origins is not that great either. They got a lot of popularity because of Valhalla, but it still did that whole. What game started it where you could pick your gender, quote unquote?
That would be Odyssey.
Was it Odyssey? Really?
Yep.
Huh.
It wasn't to the same effect as Valhalla because you did still have the character of the opposite gender as a character in the game.
Okay. Wait,
But yeah, Odyssey.
really?
Yeah, you chose one of two siblings, the brother or the sister. Whoever you didn't pick ended up being part of the bad guys.
Huh.
And that's not even a spoiler. You figure that out way early on in the game.
I didn't, and I got maybe an hour or two after the title.
Like when you first start interacting with the bad guys, the sibling shows up.
Wouldn't that be like 2 to 3 hours into the gameplay, basically? If you're doing side mission, yes. But if you're doing line, it's just like 1 hour. Basically.
Let's be perfectly honest. You want a good Viking experience? Watch The Northman.
The Northman is hilarious as fuck. Really.
The Northman was hilarious.
Yeah, I found it hilarious. I mean, it was good. It was good. It was a good movie, but had more comedic sense.
I wasn't laughing very hard in that movie. I think I know which scene you're talking about. Yeah, that was funny. In like a very immature humor sense of way. I know what scene you're talking about. But after that, it got very dark and serious, and it was basically it was Hamlet with Vikings. Let's be perfectly honest. Which actually, what's funny is they said that this is based off of the Nordic tale that inspired Hamlet.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yep.
I should have interested in that.
Yup.
Dang, you can't even get Black Flag on Xbox anymore.
Really?
Not currently available.
Huh.
I have it.
I went to go hunt down the price, but
Damn. That sucks. Because I think you can still buy it on PlayStation Store too.
more than likely.
Probably. PlayStation hardly ever gets rid of anything. Let's be perfectly honest. All right. So going from what honestly, let's say, has a lot more potential to fail than potential to be successful, to something that definitely has potential to be successful, and honestly, I think is a fucking banger of an idea. Adult Swim has officially announced that they are going to be adding a lot of the classic cartoons from Cartoon Network onto their roster after the 6 o'clock. I think it's 6 p.m. right now is what they do. It's 6 or 8 o'clock, I forget. To where now you it's 6. Okay, cool. So 6 o'clock to switch over to Adult Swim. So you're going to be seeing the likes of Ed and Nettie, Johnny Bravo, Courage the Cowardly Dog. I'm fairly certain Scooby Doo is on there too.
Well, and
Which one?
Story, fucking
It
Cat
makes sense.
Favreau, others.
It makes sense. Most people. I have to remember that I'm older than a lot of the people in our group.
Oh, Elder, tell us the ways.
No, but as somebody who grew up when Ed was actually a little kid when Ed and Eddie was first starting, like saw the trailers for Ed and Eddie before it even premiered. Like people my age are having kids, and so there's those kids that are growing up with their cartoons. These are our cartoons that we're going to be able to watch again on TV, the way when we were kids.
Exactly. Even
It
though, let's be
makes
perfectly
sense.
honest, TV has been dying for years.
We used to be sharing the 90s.
You're not wrong.
This, with this generation and the next generation over, too.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, and honestly, here's the thing. I grew up when Courage was still going on. They obviously did a lot of reruns for sure. I saw Ed and Nettie the movie. I think the movie came out in early 2000s or whatever. Because Ed and Eddie was coming out still. It was still producing episodes by the time Adventure Time started. Yeah, I mean it went on forever. Codename Kiss Next Door, I think, was done by the time I started watching. Yeah.
I
So
think after Kids Next Door Zero, they finally ended the whole series. Right after.
Ed and Eddie the movie was in 2009. Yeah.
2009. Yeah, I remember because it was a big deal. They're like Ed and Eddie the movie, and I think it was Ed searching for his father,
His brother.
Right? Forgot about that.
The brother that they talked about all the time during the series, how cool he was, and he turned out to be an ass.
Yeah. That goes to show. But I mean, let's be perfectly honest. Ed was an ass. Eddie was an ass. Yes. Ed was just stupid.
Ed was
Double D was. Yeah.
Ed was
Double D.
I still can't listen to crap. What's that song? Josie's on a vacation far away. Without seeing the animation of Ed singing it.
Yeah. Josie's on a vacation far away. Oh man, but yeah, no.
When Ed and Eddie first premiered, Powerpuff Girls was on its way out.
Was it?
I think that was right about that time. Yeah.
Okay.
You got to remember, this was Ed and Eddie premiered in 1999. I was 10 years old. For those questioning, I'm 33 now. It's been a while.
Yeah. You want to know what's sad? I was born in 99. I'm leaving you.
2 in 99. Barely 2 in 99.
Like I said, I'm aware I'm older than. But
like I said, wise sage, teach us your ways.
If I claim wisdom, shoot me.
But anyways, you were saying.
But again, this is a lot of the cartoons that my generation and the generation that came after me grew up with, that we look back on fondly because we had that in-between point of stuff like Gumball and the funny weird without being too in your face.
Or as I think as they coined the term quirky.
Yes. Before stuff like Adventure Time really hit its heyday. Like, this was when you could see somebody take a bat to the face and walk away in a cartoon. Yeah. And nobody batted an eye.
No, yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you the reason it makes sense. Because they got rid of Boomerang.
Did they? They got rid of Boomerang?
I believe they did get rid of Boomerang.
That fucking sucks. That was actually one of my, like, when Cartoon Network wasn't showing anything I wanted to watch, I turned it over to Boomerang. I love Boomerang's fucking, what's the stuff that they played, like, in between or they would start before?
Yeah, Boomerang the Cable Network closed on October 3rd, 2014.
Fuck! In 2014?
Sorry, 2004.
2004. Boomerang became its own channel. I remember that.
Yeah, it was a cable network.
Yeah. I remember watching it in, like, well, no, I did stop watching it around 2014, so that makes sense.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
And so having a platform for us to watch those cartoons again is great.
Exactly. I mean, I remember they were already kind of doing that with Samurai Jack, like the semi, like, where, like, you could argue it is more for adults than it is kids. Like, I think Ren and Stimpy, that was Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah,
but it was in that same generation.
Yeah. Shit, what was the one that went? Like, I think it was Cow and Chicken, I think, went over to
Cow and Chicken was Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I know it was Cartoon Network. I think it also went over to Adult Swim, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. Because Cow and Chicken was basically a Ren and Stimpy clone. And let's be perfectly honest. We all knew it was. It was trying to be Ren and Stimpy meets Rocko's Modern Life. But I think that went over to Adult Swim because a lot of parents complained about it. Because it did have that adult sense of humor, you know. And that's fine, honestly. The fact that more adults didn't complain about SpongeBob and shit like that. Because SpongeBob was very cleverly putting it in.
The quote-unquote antagonist was a quite literal devil with a very prominent ass.
Yeah, exactly. Back when cartoon characters had a more prominent ass and wasn't realistic like Pixar moms. Jesus Christ. Anyways. Yeah. And then we wonder why, you know, a lot of these upcoming generations are obsessed with ass so much. It's like, well, have you not seen Pixar? Have you seen media? Have you not seen Pixar? They start them young. Like, anytime there's a human character, let's be perfectly honest, Incredibles awakened a lot of things in a lot of people. And we know which scene we're talking about. So, shit.
Oh, God.
But, yeah.
The minute you said Incredibles, it was there.
Yeah, you knew. Right there. It's like, oh, yeah, The Incredibles. Boom. Mirror shot. All I have to say is mirror, and you automatically know. Just God damn. Anyways, that being said, God damn it, I'm sorry. Oh, so many memories, so many fond memories. Oh, let's be perfectly honest, cartoons have been doing that forever. Look at a lot of people were awakened by Jessica Rabbit. Hell, I think some were awakened more than others, if you know what I mean. What were you saying, Gals?
I said, "Oh wow, okay." I think more prominent because of Pixar mothers than Looney Tunes, honestly.
Well, Jessica Rabbit wasn't Looney Tunes.
Oh yeah, no.
Jessica
Rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't it tied into Disney and Looney Tunes?
They had crossover. I think it was a Warner Brothers. No, it was a Touchstone. So Touchstone is owned by Disney.
So, Who Framed Roger Rabbit was the biggest crossover of cartoon characters there has ever been.
Mm.
Like, they actually had to get agreements between Cartoon Network and Disney for to make sure that neither one of their title characters had more time than the other.
Though Mickey technically gets on frame during that skydiving thing.
Just a
Technically is
fraction
on
of a
frame,
second.
just like a few frames before Bugs. So, the mouse still wins.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait a second. Hold on. You're goddamn right. I always fucking win. Sure, whatever. Anyways, just. Oh, come on! I have to
We
do it.
owned by Disney now?
No, he's in my walls. So that's unfortunately Mickey had to cut back on a lot of his spending. He's not exactly in the best mood right now.
I was about to say, I wasn't aware that they were that eager to expand.
Though if they are, I have conditions. All right. With that, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I have been your host, Black Chef 56. This has been the Snodacast, episode 16 of season 4. I have been joined by Hungry Hufflepuff.
I will see some of you in the future. You know when it will come.
Fair enough. And then, of course, we're also joined by DJ Lionheart. He has since left. He had to go to work early. And we were also joined by Gallows, a.k.a. Thomas. Oh, hold on. Wait a second. Let me unmute you real quick.
Nope.
Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. Better. That's fair. I mean, we're all professionals anyway. So, yeah. Professionals.
Yeah,
Professionals.
professionals. Exactly. Alrighty then. Well, like I said, I've been Black Chef 56. This has been the Snodacast Season 4, Episode 16. And we will see you all